G'day everyone. As you can see, 2 more containers in. It's changed a little bit from there. And then we've got a lovely native critter at the moment. You see these everywhere. And as you'll see from here on through, yes, I finally got my little generator shed done. Big smile. And another one stuck again. Truck's getting bogged all the time. This one's getting stuck because he hasn't got the weight on the back. For the 4th truck I've had bogged here lately. Okay, as you can see here, my big chicken, me eagle's finally come out from Townsville out of the container and in its place of pride. Hi everyone, Ron back here again. It's been a little while since we've done a video. We've been quite busy. As you can see, we've got cobwebs in the paddock, and then further down the paddock, it actually looks like the paddock's on fire or smouldering. It's actually the frost that we've had over the past few days. But we've been getting into doing the vegetable patch area and doing a lot of work on it because it's taken quite a bit to get there. And doing the field as well, getting it ready so we can start planting grass in there because our paddocks were so rough. You walk a couple of steps and you'd literally lose yourself in a hole up to your hip, or at least your kneecap in spots. But we're going to go through shortly and pick up the boulders. But as you can see, we've just been roughing it up and getting ready to go through and put fertilisers, organic fertilisers, and also the calcium or the calciprel, which is just basically the same as liming your paddock, but it works somewhat quicker. And then we'll go through and put a number of different other organic fertilisers and additives in because my pH here is 5.5. So basically we're going to be getting in and doing a little bit more work, but it has come a long way since we last did a video, and many hours. Okay everyone, as you can see, I'm here raking. I've already mowed the block, obviously, but the neighbours got the alpacas turning up in no time at all, so we're in raking it all up, and we've got a bale because it's quite short. I'd like it longer, but it is what it is, and we've got to get it all ready for her alpacas and that to arrive, so we can also do a bit of fencing at the same time. Lots of stuff happening in the general life sort of thing, but when you're trying to do hay, and I'm just in the process of getting ready to bale this, the easiest way to check it is get yourself some grass. If it does that, she's all ready to rock and roll. Again, all it comes down to is you do the twist and it does that, and you look down a bit further and there's also some grass in here as well. And again, with this stuff, it's a little green, but it still breaks, okay? So all it comes down to, when it's like that and it's nice and dry through here, even though there's still a little bit of green grass there and there's even grass coming up from underneath, basically, so hopefully your hay doesn't go mouldy on you, especially when there's rain and that about as well. Okay, going down the paddock with the baler on, as you can see there, and it's the first time I've used this baler, so some things are a little bit erratic. Not just the baler, but the driver as well. And I'm in the process of going over the top of some of the windrows that I've made. So I've gone through and cut, I've gone through and raked and tedded, and I've also, as you can see now, going through picking it up. I'm missing a little bit because the grass obviously isn't as long as I'd like, and the ground, well, she's not exactly flat, but it's a bit undulating there.
And as you can see here, the baler's doing what it should be doing, going from one side to the other, wrapping it with twine, lovely nice pink twine. And as it goes through, it's just cutting it all off. So it just shows you the process on the top of the baler. And you'll see here where I'm going up and down a little bit and hitting spots where there's more than the baler can actually handle, and it spits it to one side. You can see I've got the panel open because we had a few little issues, again, teething problems, because it's the first time I've used it, and going through as best I can with it. But again, because the ground's so undulating, it's a bit rough, in other words, I've had to try and raise and lower the actual baler as I've been going along. But I got somewhere in the vicinity of 60 to 70 bales out of it approximately. And again, some of them look a little bit worse for wear in regards to the whole turning out of a nice neat bale, but we're doing it in 60 to 70 kilometre an hour plus winds. So one moment you're doing pretty good, and the next moment you've got all these little pieces coming off of it as you're trying to pick it up, hitting you in the eyeballs and in the face. Even with safety glasses and stuff on, it still comes in and around behind between the bits of the grass and all the dirt. It's just shocking. But again, they're not terrible bales. Again, not obviously the best either. They're a little bit hairy with some of them because of the length of the grass. It's quite short compared to what I'd usually want to do. But yeah, the 60 to 70 sort of odd bales was what we got out of this one paddock, because Trudy wants to actually, and Gordon want to turn it into two separate paddocks. But you can see as it goes along here, they're a little bit rough because, again, the grass wasn't tall. It is what it is. So, and they've got themselves some extra bales of hay there that would have probably gone to waste. Look at this lovely brand new morning. Here's some of the implements I got scattered across the paddock. My lovely little Tonka truck here, the tipper, the Judy calls it, little Tonka toy. It's a really, really good little wheelbarrow. Moves stuff around without busting your butt to move dirt from A to B. Unfortunately, it hasn't got a hydraulic lift. It's a manual one, but it tips real easy and goes anywhere and everywhere. And obviously here we've got the large ripper that has the attachment for laying pipes. And a bit further in the background there is the PTO driven high pressure pump that does 250,000 litres an hour plus. Then we go across to the normal 4-in-1 bucket with Euro quick hitch attachment parts on it as well. Makes it really, really easy. And then across to the next part there, it's the actual mower attachment. And the next item here is the disc harrows. As you can see, I've still got the extra weight, the railway iron on there, because it now weighs in excess of nearly up to a tonne. But it's got flat discs on it, and it's also got scalloped out discs for helping plough up the paddock and cut through all the sod that's on the ground. And the next item along the line here is the rotary hoe. I've used it quite a bit as well. Broken a few teeth because I've hit a lovely amount of rocks I've got across the yard. And the other one there is the box grader. You've seen me use that considerably in regards to making the new road that comes on out. And we got the portable generator hidden away there in the little container. And as you can see, we've got the water containers, all the sheds and that there. And oh, who's that ugly bugger down? Hey, who are you waving at? Next door, giving Gordon and Trudy a hand, putting in their fence to separate the paddock that I'd just gone through and baled up and raked and mowed for them to get some hay. We're in the process at the moment putting down the main posts for where they're putting gates and all that through. We do have a string line that goes across the paddock there. You'll probably see it a little bit later on if you can't see it already. But down in the ground itself, it looks pretty good soil, nice volcanic soil there. But it's also got rocks down there as well. Some small ones and some big ones. Well, there's a big one popping on up. It definitely makes it a bit difficult to dig a nice straight hole. But you'll see Gordon shortly getting in there and pushing it from one side to the other. A good thing is I have hydraulic downward pressure too, which makes it a lot easier instead of hanging off the back end of the actual auger attachment itself. But as it's going down, it's going down quite well, and you can hear the rocks as it's going through and jarring through a few there, making a bit of a racket. But definitely, as you'll see in a minute or so, Gordon is definitely out there giving a bit of a push left or right and pulling or pushing, because it actually makes the auger go one way or the other when you hit something down the bottom of the hole.
The rock down there. That will be. Definitely a big rock on the edge of that auger.
At the bottom there somewhere.
Yeah.
As you can see here, fellas, even the women can do all of this. You don't even have to worry about getting out there and cutting up all the logs yourself. It all operates as easy as can be with a lever. Once it's all attached, 2 fingers, literally. Wood's a little bit heavier, but oh well, they'll grow some muscles.
Hi everyone, Ron back here again. Sorry I haven't done anything in a while, but been a little bit busy. Now, it's the time of the year down here in Tasmania where winter's coming in, and we're all the way up in one of the coldest areas, not that far away from Cradle Mountain, about 50 kilometres away, give or take a bit. We've got the new log splitter, along with all the other implements that we got from Trident tractors, and we've just initiated, take this off, initiated and getting it all together. It's even still strapped to its packing crate, part of its packing crate. So what we've done, we've gone and filled up the reservoir with oil. We've gone through and greased the back of the sliding aligner for the actual splitter itself, and made sure that there's plenty of hydraulic oil in the reservoir that's at the back. Up the top here, you've got where your reservoir is, and you fill it up, and it'll hold well in excess of 20 plus litres. Up here, obviously, simple hydraulic control, neutral, down, up, simple as. Again, you go through to your hydraulic pump and all that. Again, this is a 540 hydraulic pump operation PTO speed. Again, make sure you also got oil in your pump, filling pointers at the top. As long as you can see it part the way through the glass, you're pretty good, but always check to make sure that's in there. Otherwise, you're going to wreck a pump. And if you don't check it, that's not anyone else's fault except yours. Now, when it comes down to chopping trees, we've already chopped up a few larger ones, which we'll put in before this, but coming down to cutting smaller pieces of timber for kindling and stuff like that, it's still a little bit big. But what you generally do is you don't cut a slice off at a time. You slice it, you don't peel it off, you keep it together as possible as best you can. You cut it all one way. Then you just literally turn the whole bunch sideways and you cut it all apart again. And as you can see here, it's literally still all together. So you're not trying to do a piece or a slab at a time. There's a couple of bits that you can just break off as you move along. But when you're doing it, make sure that you've got it completely in, not sticking out too far, although I've had logs that have stuck out well and truly over a foot from this. You've got to spin it around and then cut it down through there. But basically, it saves you a little bit of time and effort doing it that way. And because it doesn't move at a great rate of knots, you can go in and keep your fingers relatively close, but don't get them under there. Otherwise, you might be doing a bit more than cutting some wood. So anyway, I'll get back to cutting my firewood and talk to you again soon. Catch you later.